Hello and welcome to today's content which is going to be about Elsirelle and her summer version, and this is going to be kind of a quick glance at her without going too far into details and such. But yeah, basically I'm doing this because it's a unit that hasn't been out yet in Japan as well as global side yet, and since it's very special and we don't have any actual information about her outside of just certain things we have seen from like Reddit posts or like the live stream from JP side, yeah, this is why I'm doing it. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So here we are for what abilities to expect. Because we do know that her main job is a scholar and her sub job is paladin and kododama, let's go down the scholar list first. Because she is a scholar, she does get devitalizing glint, which is going to be very nice to have. Her limit break is going to be dreamy typhoon. As you can see, the range on it is huge for the damage itself. It's not for range for selection, but still it's a huge like range in general. And it's a guarantee hit and it reduces AP, which is going to be insanely good. Mostly the guarantee hit. I know guarantee hits, if they don't have like a large range, they're probably going to just be using it on a tank. However, because of how large this AoE is, it is very possible and viable to hit the evasion units on an enemy team depending on the map layout. So this is going to be extremely helpful. And at the very bottom, we do know that Scholars has the Law of Geo-Absorption. It's going to be doing strike type magic damage, and it absorbs 30% of the damage done. Just keep in mind, any of these abilities can quote-unquote change with their EX ability, EX like buffs and abilities, so just keep these as the base like reminder. At the very left side, we do know that she does get her EX ability, which is going to be a physical barrier for 3 turns, and it casts Protect on herself for 3 turns. This is insanely good in terms of mitigating physical damage. Like, there is very little things that can match this amount of mitigation in one go. People can break her physical barrier, yes. However, because she still has Protect at least, as if that hit is not like an extremely super hard like barrier break hit, she's not gonna die to it, like for sure. Now, we do know that another EX ability that she gets that's gonna be upgraded, which is gonna be her Lava Geo Absorption, which what is it? It's gonna lower the reaction ability activation down, like I believe it makes it so that it doesn't even work, like kind of like how Lightning Strike is for Charlotte. It just makes it so that reaction abilities do not work against it, and the height range increases from 1 to 2. Which is going to be very nice in terms of just hitting in general and like just targeting AoE's abilities. So it's going to be very nice for her. Keep in mind, these are all information either got from the Reddit or JP livestream and or another third source. It is kind of confirmed that Immortal Spirit is on her sub job. We don't know like literally 100%, even though they did say on the Japanese live stream, until I see it from my own eyes and in game, I won't believe it until it actually happens. But we are expected that she has the Immortal Spirit on her Paladin sub job. From here, on her Kododama sub job, we do know that the basics that almost all Kododama main jobs and sub jobs get is going to be nimble movement and unavailable pain, which is going to be very nice to have, just to have. And not to be expected, and only Silma has this in particular for a sub job on Kododama, is that Silma gets anti-magic wall. We know Mua has hers on her main job and it even upgrades because of EX, but for Silma, she has it on her sub job, which means it's quote-unquote possible for Elsirelle to also get on sub job, but I would not count on it. Mostly because she already has a physical barrier, and if she had this much like flexibility in what barriers she can even like take, just on a sub job, it's gonna be kind of crazy. And she's a 90 cost, not a 100 cost unit, where usually when we're expecting a 100 cost unit, it's kind of like crazy kits or like out of this world type of stuff. If she has this, I will say she's extremely well versatile, but if she doesn't have it, it's kind of expected. It's like balanced. Like, she should not be having it anyways because she already has a physical barrier. And theoretically speaking, I believe barriers don't particularly stack. So yeah, just some food for thought. It's not to be expected. So here we are for passives and reactions to what we should be expecting. So because she is a scholar, we do know that she gets scholarly intuition and knowledge reserves. Before I talk about the EX on knowledge reserves, let's keep going with what else she gets. Because she also has the paladin subjob, she will be getting Holy Knight's protection, which could further increase her HP and defense. We also know that she has her Kododama subjob, where she can get magic up level 1 to increase her magic further, and she gets Fire Spirit's blessing because she is a water type, and this is going to increase her spirit as well as fire resistance. Lastly, for her EX side, because Knowledge Reserves does get EX buff here, and it's going to be very important to take this passive because her EX ability makes it so that she gets Spirit Penetration. It's predicted, and it's common that it's going to be just spirit penetration by 40. But if they do want to power creep her, kind of like how they did for Cloud, because Cloud has 60% defense penetration as on a passive, it's possible this can go to 60%. I'm not going to bet on it because that would be kind of really strong, because she does have strike type magic attack abilities, but it is something to think about. So yeah, at least 40% is good enough. 60% would definitely be pushing it a little bit on terms of that's pretty strong. But yeah, we also know that her master ability is going to be the mono water as usual. However, she also gets her own magic attack stat 15%, and her fire attribution fire element resistant is also going to be increased even further. I mean, she's already gonna, there are no fire units that can even challenge her, and having this master ability even further makes it so that fire units just don't exist against her. So yeah, it's gonna be a good master ability for what she does pretty much. For her reaction abilities, we do know that for the Scholar reaction is going to have Reactive Force. We do know that Paladin is going to have Paladin's Guard. And then we do know Kododama has Steeled Ephemeral Form. So yeah, this is what passive and reactions to expect from her kit. So here we are at the last slide. For vision cards and units to consider using together, I do believe, in my personal opinion, everyone's like fair to like not think of it, I do believe the best vision card is Guidance from the Stars on her, like her equipping it, mostly because these are the extra stats that are going to help her not only get benefits for what she does best, as well as covering a little bit of her weakness, which is in this particular place is going to be magic damage, because she's a caster. She's going to have high faith, and you know what that means. If you have high faith, that means you will be taking more magic damage in general. This vision card, particularly when you equip it and you're a water type, she's going to get 8 additional spirit. She can get 10% more magic stat. She gets 302 HP, 168 magic, and 3 agility. So this really covers up most of what she does and what she is going to be weak to, which is going to be mostly magic damage. In terms of DPS to support, since we do have Aerith coming out soon, I'm not going to say it's guaranteed because, I mean, it's Gumi. Anything can happen, but this is kind of what we're expecting. Mua would be a very good DPS with her, because Mua can LB first for the water elemental down, and then Elsirelle can basically clean it up. However, keep in mind, since this vision card is mostly for her, you're going to have to be using another magic vision card, which can easily be slotted in by like Siren if you wanted the water attack. But yeah, Titus is also very good, not only because he is physical tanky. If you wanted to face like a 3k attack physical team or something, and you have Titus and Elsirelle on that team, they will probably actually do pretty well, because they both have physical barriers and they have a decent matchup against physical damage in general. So this is something to think about. Winter Victora, if she had her EX, wouldn't you just love it if like Victora just like dispelled someone else and like hit them, and then it could be chained off Elsirelle, and then Elsirelle just finishes them off? Or if they have like a barrier or something, and then a physical barrier and or like omni barrier, or like double barrier, Victora can kind of just cleanse it, and then Elsirelle can finish. Like, I don't know, I really wish Victora was already out for her EX. I don't know, it's very sad that it's not out yet. But yeah, lastly, support, mostly support Aerith. The reason why I have Aerith here is, in the situation you do want to kind of mind game your opponents, because if you have, like, for example, if you're in Guild War and you see a slot 1 Elsirelle summer version of her, you're thinking instantly, oh, I need to bring like a magic tank here, and I need to bring magic damage, one or the other. And if Aerith is built so that she grants you a magic barrier, and then Elsirelle is going to be using her immortal spirit instead of her her physical barrier, then you already kind of mind game the opponent already, and you have a better chance of that situation. But yeah, that's just something to think about because of mono elements and such. Theoretically speaking, you shouldn't really run 3 elements in a party unless it's light or dark, just because of weaknesses and how easy you can kind of like abuse it depending on the situation. But yeah, that's some food for thought. Now, party vision card benefits. I specifically put in 2 physical damage cards here and 2 magic based cards. So the 2 physical is going to be Thanks for the Votes vision card, and the party benefit is 35 water attack, which is insanely good in all water parties, and increases the accuracy. I know she has her limit break, which is 100% hit. However, outside of that, she doesn't have 100% hits outside of the Kododama sub-drop, so even the increased accuracy, even if it's a little bit, will still help her in that regard. The other physical vision card is going to be Leviathan, all the way on the right side. Not only does it cover the AoE resistance, it also does pierce resistance. considering that in the future, if we have like maybe more like lightning types, and or if you want to kind of face 9S and not get abused by him too hard in that matchup, that is something to think about. For the magic types, we do have the Siren Esper Vision card, which is gonna be 35 water attack as well, kind of like thanks for the votes, but it's magic statted like the Vision card if you equip it for yourself. The party benefit is gonna be similar in some way or form. And then we have the Holidays Vision card, which is going to be AoE resistance for a magic caster specifically because of the personal stat you gain from it. So yeah, those are some examples of some very good Vision card setups that is going to be specifically for water types in the party. So yeah, theoretically speaking, if you want damage, you want Thanks for the Votes or the Siren Vision card for sure. Now, some future and current stuff to consider. For TMRs, if you do have Summer Killface Summer version, I do believe that you can use her TMR if you wanted to do, like I said, like the mind games. If you want to kind of like boost her magic survivability, because she will have decently to good survivability against physical damage in general. So this is something to consider. Another thing is, because she is locked down to magic attack type specifically and only the Law of Geo-Absorption for strike type magic damage, having the Brooch or the TMR from a Garvel can increase her magic attack type penetration, which is going to be very helpful for her if you want her to be dealing like insanely high damage. That is going to be something very important to deal, because if they have a lot of magic attack resistance, you can only use the Law of Geo-Absorption against them for like effective damage. But if that, like if you run out of that, and or like they have high strike resistance as well, then she has no guaranteed damage in that situation. And lastly, what you want to bring against Elsirelle just from her kit alone that we know, you want to bring either magic DPS or magic tanks, because those will be very difficult matchups for her in particular. We also have Cloud coming out, which is also going to possibly be a very good matchup, mostly because of what he can do, and he can break physical barriers, and if she is not properly mitigating damage against him, he can deal like a significant amount of damage to her regardless. But yeah, Charlotte for sure, one of the magic tanks we have out right now, is going to be extremely like good against her. Ironically, vice versa, Mua is not only anti-magic but also very like she's good against magic in general, so that she is actually super effective against Elsirelle Summer. It's kind of ironic how that works, but it does work. They work well together, but she Mua is also kind of, I will say it is kind of her counter at the same time, because Elsirelle, as far as we know right now, outside of her EX stuff that we know from like Reddit posts or the live stream, she does not have any barrier breaks. Keep that in mind. And that means also, if you do not have a barrier break and or one-hit KO potential, Black Robed Helena is definitely going to be a very strong contender there. And lastly, we have Aerith. Maybe you want to bring your team comp into like someone that's not, it doesn't look like they appear to be ready for magic damage, but if Aerith does her AoE magic barrier, now suddenly you're doing reduced damage because of that barrier, and you have no one to kind of break it for you in that regard either. So that's some stuff to consider. Anyways, yeah, this is the end of the slide. I tried to keep it short, like until I do her actual deep dive review on Wednesday when we get her information. But yeah, if you like this little review, mostly because she's a unique character that's coming out and we didn't really know anything about her, I did this. I'll probably do in the future for like other featured characters that we really literally don't have enough information about. But yeah, overall, thank you for watching, and until next video, which will probably be on Wednesday, yeah, peace out.